Thank you, Adnan. Thank you for organizing this important press conference. It is a pleasure and an honor to be on the same stage with President Dhaouadi and with the rest of the esteemed panelists. As I was walking into this room, it was interesting because I remembered a few years ago. You remember when we were in this very room with celebrating democracy, telling the officials that you need to support democracy. If you remember that year, for some reason, the Senate held about $60 or $70 million in aid, and we came together quickly, us and other groups and other organizations, to tell them no, that's the wrong move to do. You need to add more to the budget, not take less. And here we are again a few years later, talking about this catastrophe, as if I may call it, that happened in Tunisia in this coup. Quickly, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of people who are in jail. These are leaders. These are quality leaders. We're not talking any ordinary person that if they lose their right, that's a problem. That's a catastrophe in itself. But when you have a leader who has followers behind it, who has a party behind it, who has a movement behind it, and you put them in jail, then you are actually trying to destroy fundamental freedoms and rights of all people in Tunisia. And the quality of these people that they are in jail, ISIS jail, is a problem, and it could cause, and hopefully not, it would cause a rippling effect in Tunisia. 3 points I want to highlight. First of all, as the president of Tunisia United Network, which is it's an American organization. We are American. We are Tunisians who live in America. We are active in America. We vote. We lobby our representatives in Congress and in the government, and that's our right. That's an honor for us to do, and that's the patriotic thing for us, especially when you know. But for all these years, we've been pushing this government, the U.S., to support Tunisia, to add more to all the sectors. We told them to increase the budget for the military. We told them to increase the budget in the economy. We told them to increase the budget for the NGOs. All of those. And we did not say increase it for this person and not that person, or for this government against that government. We actually were asked throughout the years, since the revolution until the coup, we kept asking the U.S. government to support democracy, no matter who comes to power, no matter which party is governing, no matter who's the president in Qatar. And so I just want to make sure that that's, and so we're consistent. We are still on that path. We're going to still continue. Today, we come and to highlight some of the issues that we see in the U.S. policy toward Tunisia. Yes, they are probably, if you compare them to other countries, they are probably the most forward-leaning of these countries. That's true. However, we still think that there's room, there's things that needs to be done that the U.S. government is not doing. For example, tomorrow, Shayma Isa is going to a military court. She's a civilian. She's going to a military court. Why is Shayma Isa presented in front of military court? The U.S. should question this, should pose this question directly to the military leadership in Tunisia. And if there's no reason, and no good reason, I don't think there is, then the U.S. should hold some of its help to the military, should put some of the money that allocates, to the military, should put it on hold until things change, and we take concrete steps to change this. There is a bill in Congress right now being discussed called the Safeguarding Tunisian Democracy, and it calls for withholding 25% of aid to the military, or at least aid to Tunisia, that the Congress needs to pass, and needs to pass urgently. The second point I want to make is the issue of criminalizing meeting with diplomats and U.S. officials. This is on record. When we talk about the conspiracy that many of these people, including Shayma Isa and Khayyam al-Turki and Abdulhamid al-Jalasi and all these folks who are accused of conspiring against the state, who are they conspiring with? It is listed. They have them listed, including, the ambassador of Italy, the former and the present, including Heather Kallenbach and Natasha Francisca, who are working as attachés in the US Embassy. So meaning that meeting with these officials is criminal, according to at least this conspiracy theory that they are pushing. However, the judge who is presiding over the investigation of this case, they issued a statement telling all these diplomats that no, don't believe what the lawyers are telling you. Diplomats are respected in Tunisia. Continue doing your work. There's no issues. So in that sentence, they are confessing that meeting with diplomats is not a conspiracy. However, when the lawyers moved to request that these officials, if they are named in this case, they need to be questioned. They need to be called to issue statements. Then some of these two lawyers, including Islam Hamza and I believe the sister of Dalila Msaddiq, who is the sister of Jawhar Mubarak, they are called to be questioned also, and hopefully, nothing would happen, but they're going to be questioned and intimidated, so they don't talk about this case because the judge issued a gag order against discussing this case in public because it's a shameful case. It's an empty case, and when the lawyers told the judge that if you are exonerating these diplomats who met with our clients, then you should exonerate our clients and let them go. If they did not, if you are admitting that nothing happened in those meetings, there's nothing against the law in those meetings, then our clients should be also let go. So we don't know how the judge is going to react to this request, but at least we know that the lawyers requested officially from all these countries, the US, Italy, and others, to speak and to issue statements on this. But they did not hear back. And so here, my point, at least from here, we asked the US government to allow these diplomats to speak about these meetings. What took place in these meetings? Is there anything illegal that took place in this meeting? Since there is no implications, there's nothing is going to happen to you because the government said it's okay. But at least, tell us, because this is the case, all of it is based on meeting with foreign diplomats. So I think the US owes it to these, and they know pretty much all of them. They know that they are innocent. So at least speak up and speak the truth. Tell the judge and tell the public, more importantly, what took place in these meetings. And so we can talk about the different faces that we see here. I see in one of the posters, Rida Bouzayan, rahimahullah. He's somebody who went in a protest. I believe it was January 14th. And then he was missing after that for a few days. And then to find out later, his family found out that he's actually in the hospital. And I think a couple of days later, he was declared dead. No investigation. The man is in good health. There's nothing wrong with him when he went into this protest. But a few days later, he is dead. And there's I believe the testimony, at least we have from the doctor, is that he died from cardiac heart arrest because of torture, possible torture, or possible pressure on him. And so I remember the Tunisia United Network filed a lawsuit here in the US on his behalf and on behalf of Mr. Bhiri, who, if we remember, for a long time, he was kidnapped from his own home. He did not even know who took him. And then later on, we know that he went to the hospital and we lived all that drama together. So we filed a lawsuit against the interior minister, against the person who's in charge of the president, I believe it's Yahyawi, who's in charge of the presidential guard, because they were involved in his kidnapping. And so at the same time, we requested officially and we say it because it's not a secret, we filed a report with the State Department, putting in context, and at least in terms of the law, what the Human Rights Watch said, what the Amnesty International and other reports. We put it in a legal report and we submit it to the State Department, saying these are sanctionable items. These people violated the Constitution, violated the freedoms and the rights of Tunisians. And therefore, by the US law, it gives the right to the State Department, specifically the Secretary of State, to sanction these individuals, and we requested the sanctioning of at least 4 officials from the US government. These are things we do in public, We do it because we believe in that the Tunisian and the US relationship has to be built on principles of freedom, of democracy, of dignity for all sides. We're not doing it and in corners, we're not doing it in secret, we do it in public. And if you want a copy, we'll send you a copy. So I hope that we're going to continue this. I see a couple of members of our Tunisia United Network are here. We're going to continue to do this work because we believe in the just cause of the Tunisian democracy. And like this, the banner says, let's save our democracy. It is savable. We can do it. But we all have to put our hands together and do it for the right reason. Thank you.